What is a comparison-contrast essay? A comparison and contrast essay is when we compare two things. Compare and contrast two things. When we compare two things, we are looking for similarities. When we contrast two things, we are looking for differences. The comparison-contrast writing strategy then is a way of analyzing likenesses and differences between two or more subjects. Usually the purpose is to evaluate or judge which is superior. Thus we might appreciate soccer if we compare it with football. We understand Roman Catholicism better if we use it in light of Buddhism. In this example, I am comparing living in New York is a better place. New York is a better place to live than Los Angeles because New York has better food, entertainment, and transportation. And so here I use the block method. And so you have two different methods of comparing and contrasting things. You can either use the block method or you can use the alternate method. What is the difference between comparing and contrasting using the alternate method or using the block method? When you use the block method, what you do is you write everything you want to write about New York in one paragraph, and then you want to write everything you want to write about Los Angeles in another paragraph. Therefore, each topic becomes one block. New York, LA, conclusion. So you have your introduction paragraph where you introduce the topic, then you have your second paragraph where you talk about New York, topic number 1, then Los Angeles, topic number 2. I know there's a mistake here. This is supposed to be Los Angeles, L-O-S, Angeles, has better food, entertainment, and transportation. And in each paragraph you have parallel structure. And so here you would write New York and talk about the food, the entertainment, and transportation. Then in the second paragraph you do the same, except you talk about Los Angeles, food, entertainment, and transportation. And so you have parallelism between the two paragraphs, except in one paragraph you're talking about New York, and in the other paragraph you're talking about Los Angeles, L-O-S, typo, Angeles. And so the body paragraphs match exactly the content of the thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the main idea of the entire essay, and it is located as the last sentence of the first paragraph. And so a block method has 4 paragraphs in its structure. Another way of writing comparison contrast is using the alternate method. Here you have the same thesis statement. New York is a better place to live than Los Angeles because New York has better food, entertainment, and transportation. And so here you would have alternate. New York has better food, better entertainment, and better transportation. So body paragraph 1 talks about food, New York and LA. Body paragraph 2 talks about entertainment, New York and LA. And body paragraph 3 talks about New York and LA, food. Why is this alternate? Because each paragraph talks about both topics. Whereas in block paragraph, you have one big paragraph about New York and then one big paragraph about Los Angeles. Whereas in this case, each paragraph talks about New York and LA, New York and LA, New York and LA. And it splits it up into 3 paragraphs: food, entertainment, transportation. 3 different paragraphs. Body paragraph 1 is food, body paragraph 2 is entertainment, and body paragraph 3 is transportation. So everything matches your thesis statement, whereas in the block method it's all in one paragraph about New York and all in one paragraph Los Angeles. So when we use comparison contrast, writers who use the comparison contrast technique know that careful planning is required to organize the likenesses and differences into logical patterns. Some authors might use only comparison to look at the similarities between subjects. Others might use only contrast. Often writers combine the two in a carefully constructed essay that balances one with the other. Like many of the reading and writing strategies you have learned, comparison and contrast is familiar from everyday life. So if you're talking to your girlfriend, you might, or boyfriend, you might compare and contrast two different movies you saw. Which did you like better, Titanic or some other movie that you saw? Or two books that you've read, which two books was better? And so compare and contrast exists in everyday life. You might consider price, size, horsepower, options, safety features, status, and dependability before you spend a huge amount of money on whether or not you were to buy a new car. If you were deciding whether to send your daughter to a public or private school, you would compare and contrast the features of each type of institution: cost, teacher quality, class size, location, curriculum, and composition. And so comparison contrast, where you compare the differences, which is contrast, or you compare the similarities, and that is compare. Some people do both. And so this ends my lesson on compare and contrast.